Hello and welcome to Boomer Live. Today we are here to talk about the transfer rumors and the done deals. I know it's the off season all across Europe, but then there's been a lot of transfer rumors, which is keeping all the football fans gripped onto their TV channels and also their social medias because there's been lots been happening with all the top clubs being involved, signing some big stars, signing some young talents. It's a Sunday afternoon. I have Anahat with me. So, Anahat, how's your Sunday going? Obviously excited to talk about football, isn't it?
Yes, as usual, very excited, and I'm very hopeful for some transfers to go through and some teams to get stronger. So really excited to be here
Absolutely,
today again.
truly. Because this transfer window has been one of the most looked on transfer window because I think nothing will be 2021 summer transfer window because you saw some big moves like Ronaldo, Messi, but this time around it's possibly going to be the transfer window of all the
Definitely,
youngsters, isn't it? You have an Erling Haaland who has made a move to City. You have someone like a Frankie De Jong who's on the radar. You have an Orland Chouameni who's been backed by Real Madrid, who's rated to be one of the most prolific young midfielders in Europe now. Let's talk about the first big done deal, isn't it? Let's talk about the man who has moved to Manchester City. Anahat, what do you make of this move? Because this is a move which everybody saw it coming. Some big clubs were on the radar as well for Erling Haaland, but then he has made a choice. He wanted to play for the club where his dad formerly played as well. It is Manchester City now.
definitely. I think Erling Haaland is a big signing, and I think City got him for really cheap. Uh, you know, I think he's really going to do well, and I think the way he's played at Dortmund, his numbers even before at uh, Salzburg. He was fantastic. So I think it will be exciting to see how Erling Haaland does at City. And now that Liverpool, I think almost backed Darwin Nunez, so that's going to be a great rivalry as well. I think between Nunez
Yeah.
and Haaland. But I'm sure, Haaland's numbers speak volumes about him, and he's done really well.
Because for me, Erling Haaland is definitely a great signing, and I'm very intrigued about his signing for the very reason that if you talk about Erling Haaland, if he would have been signed by any Premier League team, I would have, bet that, he would put in 15, 20 goals on an average season. But under Pep Guardiola, if you look at it traditionally or historically, the traditional number nines have always found it hard to play under him. I'll give you one of the prime examples to be Samuel Eto'o when he came and took over Barca's reigns. He demanded Samuel Eto'o to play right wing, left wing, not as a predominant centre forward. In the recent times, you have seen one of the biggest examples could be Gabriel Jesus. If Gabriel Jesus would have played in any other team in Europe, he would have been a centre forward. But in City, he was a
I
right
don't
wing.
think in the
Yeah,
Premier League, I don't think Gabriel Jesus can be a center or a main striker because in the Premier League, if you see Haaland, he's much taller, much stronger, and Premier League is much more physical. And
yeah.
Jesus has his pace and his skill, and I think he can pick a pass as well. So I think Jesus always, if you see, he drops down a little deeper, or he goes on the wings and he runs from the wings. So. I think Haaland is a complete center forward as well. He's good with the ball. He can play with his
Yeah, that's
teammates
exactly
as
my
well. And
point,
now with
right?
De
That's exactly my
Bruyne,
point what I'm trying to make over here. Because
right?
Pep Guardiola has always demanded his strikers to play a little deep. He has demanded strikers to play on either side of the wings as well. So whether Haaland can adapt to those demands of Pep Guardiola will be the interesting thing to see. Whether Haaland, fits into that system, whether Haaland can be flexible. Even if you look at Messi, under Pep Guardiola, he has made use of Messi in different sides of the pitch. And that's how he has made use of David Villa as well initially with Barcelona. So only player who has really played a centre forward role for Pep Guardiola has been Robert Lewandowski when he managed Bayern Munich.
Right.
But
I
I
think
see him possibly fitting that role, right?
definitely. I think Alan will possibly play a similar role to what Lewandowski played at Bayern for Guardiola.
Absolutely. Let's
So
talk about the next player because it's a done deal now. Holland, Chouameni to Real Madrid. How do you see this move? Because Real Madrid were really upset that they couldn't sign Kylian Mbappe for sure. And this looks like a signing which is on the cards. He's been rated as one of the most prolific young midfielders in Europe right now. Had a great season in Ligue 1 with Monaco. He's got a great head on his shoulders. Not just that, a carrying midfielder who can carry and progress, who can progress the ball into the final third. That's exactly what Real Madrid wants as well. Looks like Real Madrid have finally found their future midfield trio, right? With Olamin Chouameni, Kamavinga, and Federico Valverde.
Perhaps, yeah, and I think he'll have a good chemistry with Kamavinga as well. Um, um, Chouameni, and Chouameni, I think he's done really well at Monaco. You said it yourself. He's a ball playing, carrying midfielder who can also pick a pass, reads the game really well. Can make interceptions at a very young age. So I think he's destined to do well at Real Madrid. Now they have such depth in the squad. At that position, I don't know how much playing time he'll get right away, because even Casemiro, Cruz, and Modric, the current trio, I mean, even they are, still like they don't seem to be fading away very easily, as you saw during this Champions League campaign as well. But
Right.
it'll be exciting to see how he does uh, this season.
Right. That's pretty much from Holland Germany, because he's been one player, impress everybody in Europe. I thought he would be definitely getting a big deal this summer, and it's exactly what has happened. He's got a very good club, Real Madrid, and they are a good club. You've seen that with Kamavinga as well, how he has come of age, especially in this season. You would say that he has got less minutes under his boot, but then now this season, every time he was put onto the field, he was doing those dirty work defensively, offensively as well. And similar job with Holland Chouameni, because he's one of the midfielders who can control the tempo of the game. He comes in the category of Sergio Busquets, because you're same with Busquets in the previous eras, that how he reads the game so well, as you rightly mentioned, Anahat.
Definitely.
Uh, because talking about midfielders, we already spoke about Haaland, and you did speak in brief about Darwin Nunez, who is almost on the verge of making a move to Anfield. It's almost a done deal there. How do you see Darwin Nunez fitting into the Liverpool system? Because now you're hearing rumors that Sadio Mane could be on the move to Bayern Munich. Liverpool are really looking for their centre forward position. And if you look at the Champions League finale, that was the one position which really backfired when they really needed a number nine to step up. They did not have anybody. Bobby Firmino was brought on later on in the game, and Bobby Firmino has not been used so keenly by Jurgen Klopp in the recent times as well. So, do you see that void being filled by Darwin Nunes?
Yes, I think Klopp, everything he touches is turning to gold so far with the transfers. Like even players like Minamino, who initially were in a slump, even they performed very well. And right from Fabinho to all his signings, even Thiago, initially he wasn't that good, but later you saw that Thiago, I mean, he's a magician in midfield. So I think Darwin Nunez also fits the Liverpool bill really well, and I think they need a player like him, conventional number nine again. To someone to look forward to for heading in those crosses. Now Salah sometimes, even Salah has been decent in the air, with crosses, but I think Salah, as we all know, he plays from the right mostly, and even Salah, to someone Salah can feed to in the center. As you said, Bobby Firmino hasn't been a conventional goal scoring finisher kind of a player, so I think definitely Darwin Nunez will be an excellent addition to the Liverpool lineup. And as we spoke earlier, the rivalry with Haaland, I think it will be really, really exciting to watch. So I can't really wait for it.
I was just going through some of the data in which how Liverpool signs these names and how they convert them into these prolific players. If you look overall, they are the money ball team. They don't make these big signings of 100 million, 120 million like some European giants. They really focus on data. And one of the prime examples is Luis Diaz this summer in the winter transfer window, how they brought him in and how he's been able to, change that ecosystem where he's been able to play in the left hand side. He's been able to, really put in those chances and convert those chances as well. So I think they have got several metrics what they really analyze into, and they're one of the most data driven teams in Europe. And I believe Darwin Nunes, they brought him in for a reason. They see that number nine role being fulfilled by this very player. He's got tremendous potential. We've seen that in the Champions League, also for Benfica in the Portuguese league as well. He was just really in good form. And I see him to be gelling in pretty well with Diogo Jota, Luis Diaz, and Mohamed Salah. I see them to be the future trio of Liverpool Football Club, where you'll have
Yeah.
playing through the middle, Salah on the right, and Luis Diaz on the left. And I think that's going to be really good for Liverpool fans to also welcome. And we also, if you look at that, there's also rumors about United with Darwin Nunes. Do you reckon a last minute change could possibly
No,
happen?
I think now United don't have the battling power to battle a big club like Liverpool. Unfortunately, I don't think players would like to go to United immediately. even the manager Ten Hag, I mean, definitely he's done his bit in the Netherlands, but it remains to be seen how he'll do in the Premier League. So, I think even players, they do want to play Champions League football, and they want to, like, win the silverware, or at least aim for the biggest trophy. And I think definitely Darwin Nunez, the way he is, he seems like one of those players. So I think he'll definitely choose Anfield, and I think he'll fit, as we discussed. I think he'll fit fantastic in Klopp's system.
Absolutely. Talking about, let's go to Spain. Another player who's rumored with Manchester United, who they really made the initial bids in this last week. They made a 60 million plus 10 initial bid to Barcelona. Barcelona are really in desperate of some money, and it has Frankie De Jong. And one could say Eric Ten Hag's one of the favorite players, if you look in Ajax, was Frankie De Jong, because he always relied upon this lad, because he used him in different positions. You've seen him play the CDM role for Ajax as well, and at times he used to play the number 8 role. But at United, do you really reckon that he's going to be one of those midfielders who United really wanted at this very point? Because last season, United were behind Kamavinga, but they signed Ronaldo, they signed Varane. So this season, you reckon under Ten Hag's system, he's going to have a good time?
Yeah, I think it remains to be seen if they can get him, though, because United have been known to blow up transfers, or postpone transfers, like the whole Sancho saga. So you never know what's going to happen. You can never trust the United management to make these decisions smoothly and quickly, like now City do it, or a club like Liverpool do it. Usually United transfer business has usually been tooting their horn on media, and through articles, but nothing really happens until the last moment at United. We've seen that. And now Louis Van Gaal is
I
upwards,
think,
worth upwards 100 million.
yeah,
This Frankie De Jong. So I don't
yeah.
think he's up. He's worth 100 million. I mean, he's been good at Barcelona. I mean, he's a good midfielder. I think it's a good deal, but that again remains to be seen. They do say that they have a good relationship with Ten Hag, and even Van de Beek, returning from Everton. I think they too have a good relationship, so they might be able to play well in midfield. But it remains to be seen. If Donny Van de Beek will go. Sorry, if Frankie De Jong will move to a club which is not playing Champions League football. I
It's
think.
going to be interesting to see at this very point, as you rightly mentioned. Maybe Frankie de Jong has a chance to move next season if United makes it to the top four and if they play the Champions League football. At this very point, United are in doldrums. They are in a rebuild stage where they want to bring in players. They want to, see that, set the project right. And you also saw now Ralph Ragnick is also now part of United setup as well, who was supposed to be the consultant of this mega project which United was designing. Eric Ten Hag, you have seen him. You've seen him prove his mettle, especially with the Ajax Academy, bringing in these
Definitely.
talents into the European football, and from there, I don't know. Ajax is a breeding ground for some of the greatest midfielders in Europe, if you look at this very point, and some of the youngest talents as well. But it's going to be very interesting to see where Frankie de Jong makes his move. And Frankie de Jong has been very clear with the statement that he wants to stay in Barcelona and he wants to play there. So, but Barcelona are desperate of some money, so
Hmm,
that's one of the reasons why they want to clear him. And Frankie de Jong's wage bills are over the top,
definitely.
if I can put it in short words. Another player from Barcelona
Right.
itself.
I think
Yeah,
only players who will move to Man United now are players who have been either for the wages, if United can pay the wages, or if
yeah,
they really want to play with Cristiano Ronaldo. I think players who've grown up watching Cristiano, if they want to play with Cristiano, they might move to United. But besides that, I don't think anyone else will by choice move to Man United, because they're going through a lot
right.
of crisis right now. And only some kind of an emotional attachment with the club players, or either money, I think that can attract players to Man United now.
Absolutely, because you've rightly pointed out how the situation in United has been really bad over the last 2 years, especially uh, because players are in a rift between each other. Managers have been changed. The project seems to be very unclear at this very point for players as well. Talking about United, one player who's looking to make his move out of United is Paul Pogba. It's officially almost confirmed that he's going to be moving on, but we're not sure to which club is he finally going to end up in. It looks like he's going to move back to his former club again, Juventus. He's had a funny story. He has come to United, gone to Juventus, and come to United, now back to
Hmm.
Juventus again. Its relationship with the two people have been very good. It just looks like that he just doesn't want to go anywhere else as well. How do you see this transfer happening, and how do you see Paul Pogba's future? Because, and I also want to hear from you, how do you rate his tenure in Manchester United? Because he came in with a lot of promise when United signed him back then. Yet again, I'm not talking about the initial tenure, second tenure, but since then, it's been a topsy turvy ride, hasn't it been?
Definitely, definitely. I think, there were always question marks, in my mind when Alex Ferguson so publicly disowned Pogba, and, he played Rafael instead of Pogba when he was in the academy at centre mid. And, then Pogba moved to Juventus and Mourinho signed him. I mean, he really, really played well at Juventus, you have to admit.
Yeah,
But as a United fan, I was also hoping that Pogba would really prove me wrong and, really, really shine. So yeah, but he got enough criticism, so we don't want to criticize him any further. But the way he plays for France and Juventus, there was no doubt that he's a world class player, and he's like a complete player, a playmaker. So through the through the years, I mean, there's been a lot of ups and downs, as you said, even change in management at Man United. Really sad for both the club financially, how Pogba has to leave now for free after spending so much money on him, and even for the player, because professionally, I think due to some reasons, some things that go on behind the scenes at Man United, even he couldn't reach his full potential as a
yeah,
center midfielder. I mean, we saw glimpses of what he could do, but he was never consistent. And I think it is, the British media, I think they do have a big part to play, in the way these players react to some situations, or,
yeah,
in general, with the players' lives. So I think if he wasn't able to, I think, focus on his game 100% in his time at United. Now it remains to be seen, how he'll do when he goes away from United. I think he has a few good years left in him. I don't think he's one of the players who's, again, he could prove me wrong, but I don't think he's one of the players, who will excel like late into his 30s, or someone like a Ronaldo or a Modric, or a players who like do well even after they're 35 years of age. So I don't think Pogba is that kind of a player. So I think he has few good years left in him, and we'll have to see about that.
I mean, very interesting you say about his situation and his conundrum at large, because I personally felt his role was not really clarified through this tenure, his second tenure with Manchester United. Sometimes United wanted to play at number 10, at times at number 8, then sometimes they wanted to use him as a defensive midfielder, number 6 as well. So, that role clarity was never given to him through this tenure, and that's one of the major reasons I felt his downfall was pretty evident with Manchester United. It's sad that now he's making a move out of United. I always thought that it was a very good fit for United alongside Bruno and him, but injuries as well did not go his way. Let's bring in another player. As we speak about injuries, it's always one player who comes into our mind. It's Ousmane Dembele, because it's never been a good ride with Barcelona for Ousmane Dembele until very recently. The relationship between his agents and Barcelona also broke down in winter. You all saw that Barcelona fans were very unhappy with him. But then from there on, he put up a performance what he's possibly potentially. Everybody knew what he could put up. After Dortmund, the best of Ousmane Dembele was seen the latter part of 2022 season, 2021-22 season, isn't it? Where he was a leading assist maker in European football. He was helping Barcelona to bomb forward with his forward runs. He was tracking back. He was a complete winger for Barcelona, right, under Xavi. Because I've seen players get, and I've seen players actually putting their performance really down. It really affects them when their home team, home fans really boo them. But then this guy came back so strong that he got a standing ovation from the entire Camp Nou crowd, and that's the kind of mentality you expect from a player. That's the kind of performance you expect from a player, and that's exactly what Ousmane Dembele has done as well. Do you see him moving out of Barcelona at this very point, or do you see a last minute change where he decides to stay in Barcelona, where Xavi tries to go and convince him to be there, be part of the larger project, which is enhanced?
I think Usman Dembele, he's really, really, I mean, he's really, really injury prone. He's always been injury prone, and he's never been consistent, consistently on the pitch playing. I mean, when he plays, even at times he plays, he's not like really made a big difference. Now, you did mention that, after he came back strongly, he did play well for a while. But I don't think it's been a successful transfer. Of course, it's not been a successful transfer. I mean, they paid after Neymar, after selling Neymar, they paid around 110. I don't know. I think
120
it was the
million.
second highest. Yeah,
Yeah,
120
120 million.
million for Usman Dembele. I think definitely they've not got their money's worth. I don't think they have any silverware to speak about it. Barcelona since signing Usman Dembele. So I think though it seemed like a high-profile transfer for me, Usman Dembele, I don't really rate him very highly as a player.
I mean, very interesting point made by you because if you talk about the potential and the kind of value he carried into Barcelona and the kind of returns he has given to Barcelona, it just looks like a failure of a tenure with Barcelona for Ousmane Dembele. But then finally, when you see him unleash his complete potential, he's making a move out of Barcelona as well. And English football is never going to be easy. The physicality in English football is definitely going to be a challenge for
Right.
Ousmane Dembele. Do you see Chelsea actually landing this
And
transfer? And how
even
much
performing at
is it
Barcelona
going to?
consistently when he is fit. If he
Yeah,
can have more consistent performances, like he had, even when he was fit this season, he was on and off. There wasn't
yeah.
a point where he was consistently game in and game out for like 10 games, providing playmaking. He's not that kind of a player who he's known to disappear as well in games. So I really think, Usman Dembele, he needs to do better,
Yeah,
or
I mean,
he needs to go to a club that suits him.
I see him being used as inverted midfield, inverted winger by Xavi at times. At times, he used to stay wide as well, just to pin in those balls to Aubameyang. I thought the chemistry between him and Aubameyang worked out really well. You've seen that with Dortmund as well, and that's one of the major reasons why he was able to have that kind of season what he had towards the latter part of 2021-22 season. As we speak for Usman Dembele, we can just say that Chelsea are the team who are really looking for players at this very point. It's going to be very interesting if they land Usman Dembele. And one player who really Barca want to replace Usman Dembele with is Rafinha. How do you see this transfer happening? Because Rafinha with Leeds United have been on and off as well. There have been some performance which he has put up, which has got everybody's attention because he's got real good pace. He can bomb forward. He's very good with the ball. He's highly skilled, and he's a very confident player as well. How do you see the move to Barcelona and Liverpool happening for Rafinha?
Definitely, I think 14 goal involvements in the Premier League is not bad for a club like Leeds United. Rafinha, I think he's been good. And now it's been 2 seasons that he's been doing this. I mean, first season we thought it was like a one season thing. But then now Leeds United have successfully been surviving in the Premier League and they're doing well this season. So I think Rafinha has been very important for that. And I think Barcelona could. Definitely sign Rafinha. I think he'll fit their wages as well. They're going through crisis, and I don't think they'll face much competition from Liverpool. The squad that Liverpool have, right now, I think Barcelona could definitely use a player like Rafinha. And given their current transfer history, he's a kind of player that Barcelona might sign.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
so yeah, so I think another good season, and I think maybe this season Rafinha could be on his way out. I don't expect any ridiculous fees being spent on him, but yeah, I think he will go to either Barcelona or Liverpool. It remains to be seen, but I think he's on the move.
Another player, as you spoke about the word ridiculous, and even Pep Guardiola absolutely put that transfer rumors off. It was Bernardo Silva to Barcelona, and a high-profile player. He's had a terrific season with Manchester City, helping them to win the Premier League title. He was very good in the UCL legs as well. Even especially in knockout stages, he really came good for Manchester City. You know the kind of player he is, the impact he can make. He can play as a number 10. He can play as a winger. He's a very versatile player. Even he can play as a false nine as well. A complete flexible player, a well-rounded player. He's also improved in his tracking back as well. Defensively, also is slowly improving. So as a player, you want him as in your team, and Pep Guardiola did not seem to be a good fit for the team initially in the season, but then he proved Pep Guardiola wrong as well. The kind of impact he made into the team. How do you see him moving to Barcelona? Do you see that's an idealistic transfer, or is it just a transfer which is blown out of proportion?
I think it is blown out of proportion. I don't think Pep Guardiola will be easily letting any player go, from his title running side. I mean, Bernardo Silva has been absolutely great. The numbers might not speak for him this season, but he's played a very good role in the center midfield, and wherever he's needed at times, on the left side, on the right side, borrowing and lending balls to players, to his teammates, and keeping the game moving. And I think he's working really really hard as well, dropping back, trying to make those tackles. And I think Bernardo Silva, I mean, he's a great player. I don't He's like an unsung hero in their title run this season. But definitely, uh, I think they should hold on to him. And if he moves to Barcelona, I think Barcelona will be really really lucky to get him.
Absolutely. And with the financial situation Barcelona are in at this very point, it is highly unlikely that he'll make a move to Barcelona. And of course, he wouldn't want to leave a team who's actually the Premier League champions and who are actually contending for the European glory to come to Barcelona, who are building a project. So, unless he has a certain bit of passion, as we mentioned about United as well, unless you have that passion to play for the club, unless it's your boyhood club you really want to admire, you admired or you wanted to always play for. Other than that, I don't see any reason why a player like Bernardo Silva should be moving to Barcelona as well. Having said that, let's speak about a contract extension at this very point. Luka Modric, you saw the very next day after they won the UEFA Champions League that he was offered a 1 year extension. And you know the kind of player he is from Real Madrid, right? And some people still call him to be a Spurs
Absolutely, man.
midfielder, but let's just make it clear he's a Madrid legend and he'll forever be remembered in folklore to be the greatest midfielder of Real Madrid as well.
Absolutely, man. I think Luka Modric absolutely great. I mean, at 36 to play the way he does, the touch on the ball, the understanding and the reading of the game, and the way he just knows, how fast the ball has been hit, and the judgment of the ball. So I think it's safe to say that he's aged also like the greats. I mean, game in and game out, you can expect 70 to 80 minutes from a player like Modric, and he's right up there with Zlatan and Ramos and Thiago Silva, and players like that who've really really aged well, and even shown that late into their 30s they can really really do well. And even Modric, I think he falls in that category. So, and also his quality is not just on the pitch, even off the pitch. He's a true galactico. I mean, he has that winning spirit. He carries that winning spirit. He's a true leader of his, I mean, he's the captain of his national team as well. So I think Luka Modric, I think it's a great thing for both parties, both Real Madrid and Luka Modric, that he's extended his contract. And I
Yeah.
think he's going to be again very important next season.
Absolutely. If you have to beat Ronaldo and Messi to go on to win the Ballon d'Or, you need to be something special. And that's exactly what Luka Modric has been over the last 1 decade for Real Madrid. Winning six Champions League trophies is never, it's always been a dream for every player. And he has been part of every Champions League run. He's been playing a catalyst kind of a role for Real Madrid as well. Even this season, let's talk about that assist which he did against Chelsea. It was
Rodrigo.
yeah, to
Yeah.
Rodrigo. It was that moment of magic, and that's exactly what Luka Modric brings into the pitch, and that's why they
Yeah.
have held on to him for another season as well. You know that this guy just keeps getting better like a wine, isn't it? And having said that, we are coming to an end of the transfer talk for today. We'll be coming very soon with more of transfer because it just keeps evolving with time. With every week, we are getting new transfer rumors, new clubs are interested in more players. So, guys, stay tuned and guys, follow us on Instagram because that's where we'll be updating instantly regarding all the transfer talks and all the sporting updates across the world. Follow us on Instagram. Also, follow us on Twitter because we'll be doing Twitter spaces. We'll be giving you some interesting memes and some interesting stats as well. So, follow us there and also subscribe to this channel right now and click the bell icon. So, every time we go live, we post any videos, you get that notification and you will stay tuned with us and enjoy all the latest sporting updates with Boom 11. And do not forget to play the fantasy contest as well because Nations League is on, India, South Africa is on, Sri Lanka, Australia is on. A lot of exciting prizes awaiting you, a lot of rewards. So it's absolutely free to play as well. So you don't lose any money, zero financial risk, and you only have everything to earn. So have a good time. Thank you, Anand, for joining.
Thank you, Abel. Good night.